back, and today I'm going to make pasta salad, and I'm going to use bow pasta today. You can use whatever type of pasta you want. I wouldn't use spaghetti, but any type of circular type of pasta. And so what these bows look like, it's like this size. Sometimes it's fun to use the colorful pasta, so whatever you have, that'll work. So I'm going to go ahead and go over to the stove and start boiling the water. So I filled the water up to, not too high, because I only have one 16-ounce package of pasta. So that's 1 pound. And I'm going to start boiling the water, and I'm going to add just a tad of olive oil so the pasta doesn't stick, and just a little bit of salt. And I will add the pasta when the water starts to boil. So while the water is boiling, I'm going to prep some of the stuff that I'm going to put in the pasta salad, and then I will just put it in a container and put it in the fridge. I usually don't do that, but I thought, you know what? That's probably a time saver. Instead of just standing around and waiting for my pasta to boil, I could start prepping stuff. So I have a red onion. I washed up some grape tomatoes. I couldn't find any good cherry tomatoes, so I'm just going to put grape tomatoes in there. I have some mozzarella cheese, and I have some salami, and I have some pepperoni, because I think I'm going to put some of that in there. I have mild banana pepper rings, and then chilling in the fridge, I have some black olives, and I will need some Italian salad dressing. So you can use your favorite Italian salad dressing. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut up the onion. Okay, so this is my cutting board that I use for just taking stuff off the end of the onion. And then I'm going to rinse the entire onion off. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this layer off. And then I'm going to take this to the sink and rinse the onion off, cut it in half. And I'm going to take these parts out, because that's not going to taste good in there on the pasta salad. And then I'm not going to dice it up, I don't think. I think I'm going to go ahead and cut it like this way, and then cut up. So I have pieces like about that big, because it's nice to have different textures in your pasta salad. I'll get this all sliced up, trying to make it bite size. The onion might not be cooperating very well with me, so I have to just make sure I don't have anything too big, because that won't be good when you're biting into it. Hope everybody's having a great day today. I'm going to continue to cut up this onion, and I'll be back shortly. I got a block of square mozzarella cheese, so I'm going to cut little squares to go in the pasta salad. Now, I would recommend, since we're mixing a bunch of stuff together, to taste test it to make sure it's good and the cheese is fresh. But you wouldn't want to add that in there and then have it not taste good. So I think I'll do like that size. So I'm going to cut up a bunch of cheese, and I hear the water boiling, so let's go peek, see how that's going. We want it at a rolling boil. So it's almost there. Okay. There we go. So now it's boiling. Now, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure you do stir that so it does not stick. That is a good idea because, so I just have to remember to keep on coming over here and stirring to make sure it doesn't stick. Okay, so I did like half that block of cheese I had, so about that much, and I'm just gonna pour that into my container with my onions. That way, like I said, I'm doing stuff while the pasta is boiling, and I'm stirring the pasta occasionally. I'm gonna put the rest of this cheese away and then go to the next ingredient. Go and stir the pasta again. And now I have some salami. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the salami first, cut that up, and then I have some pepperoni also. So I think I'm gonna try to stack this up. So I don't have to, so I can cut a whole bunch at one time. And I think I'm going to use my bowl here as kind of a baseline of how much I want as far as the meat's concerned. I don't want to overdo it with the meat, but I want this to be a very hearty pasta salad. So somebody could actually probably eat the pasta salad for lunch if they wanted to. And it has all this good stuff in it, or it could just be a side dish. It's a great idea for potlucks and just any type of like summertime or winter. I always think of it in the summer for some reason, barbecues and stuff like that. So I'm doing bite-sized pieces. I'm gonna have to try to separate that. And I'll just keep on cutting this up. That's much salami I have, and I'm going to add some pepperoni also. I'm going to stack it up. I'm going to cut it like this. The pepperoni is actually way easier to cut because the salami is a lot softer. I guess if you get hard salami, it'd probably be the way to go. I had bought that for sandwiches, so I didn't necessarily go for the hard salami. So, but this is going to be very tasty. We'll see how much we have. So far we're up here. Okay, let's see if we're there yet or I need to put more in. Like I said, I'm just trying to gauge how much to put in, and I think that's probably, if I mix this all together and there's going to be air in between, that's about the right amount. So I'm just going to throw that in with the rest of my stuff. I just went ahead and I checked the pasta, and it's still not done yet, so it's still going. I live in a higher elevation, so it takes a while for pasta to get done. So now I'm going to do some mild banana pepper rings, or pepperoncinis would work too. It's just another type of pepper. So I'm going to cut these up. So I'm going to use a generous amount. So I'm just going to put them on the cutting board and get them to where they're, I don't want these big chunks in here. They don't have to be tiny either, but I don't want these huge chunks. So let's see how much I got here. Just kind of go through, get them more into a reasonable bite-size piece. Now, I feel like pasta salad is kind of like a regular salad. You can kind of almost put in whatever. So sometimes I put in green pepper also and the pepperoncinis. So you can do however you want it to taste. This is just kind of a basic one. This is kind of my go-to recipe. So, and a lot of it is just guessing on the amount. That's why I'm kind of using a bowl, because I'm like, okay, that's kind of a good measuring device. I'm not going to do a full bowl of pepperoncinis or banana pepper rings, but I'm going to do a generous amount. So I think I had like half a jar left, and I think I'm probably going to use the rest of this. And I think that should be the right amount, hopefully. Sometimes you don't know until you start mixing things up. And if you find that there's like a little hard spot or something, I'm just kind of looking to see. Once in a while I find a hard spot and I'll take it out. seems pretty good. Like here is like part of the stem. I'm going to take that out. Okay. So I think that might be enough. I'm just going to kind of put it in. What I have going is I'm going to, this is not what I'm going to make the pasta in, because obviously it's not, the pasta salad, it's not big enough, but I'm just going to put this in the refrigerator until everything gets cold, because you don't want, especially with cheese, you do not want to make your pasta salad before the pasta cools off 100%. But I figured while the pasta's cooking and everything, I can get all the other ingredients blended up and save time later. Because I am in the kitchen monitoring the pasta, so I might as well go ahead and start prepping the other stuff. So I need either cherry tomatoes or grape tomatoes. The only thing I found at the store that were really good were the grape tomatoes. So I think I'm just going to put in probably what would be like a whole bowl of them. So almost the whole package probably. And I'm going to leave them whole, because if I found sometimes when you cut them in half, even though this is kind of big, I think people can handle it. If I give this to my granddaughter, I'll have to cut her pieces in half. But if I cut them up and the tomato juice gets on the pasta, I feel like it's going to maybe make it too soggy. So I'm just going to put these in here whole. And I think that should, I don't have a ton of pasta, I just have the one package. So I think we should be okay. So I'm thinking hands is probably at this point better than the fork. I don't want to puncture the tomatoes. So this looks pretty good. Now we have to just figure out how many black olives. So I'm going to go grab the black. I did buy olives that are pre-sliced. So I had some olives in the house that weren't pre-sliced. And I decided, you know what, save a step. I'll get the sliced ones. I'll use the whole ones for something else. So what you want to do is I opened it up with the can opener, and you want to drain by pushing, drain all the liquid out. And then I'm going to take this over to my other ingredients mixed up and kind of try to gauge, even without the pasta, how much am I going to actually need of these black olives. And I don't believe that I'm going to need all of them. I'm thinking I could not find the smaller container at the store, so I'm going to do half the container. I'm going to mix this up. Later I'll mix it with a big spoon. This is just easier in this confined space, because I'll have a big bowl. Okay, so here's all the goodies that are going to go in the pasta salad. That's already done. I'm going to stick this in the fridge. The pasta is getting very close. In the meantime, my salad dressing is chilling. So I've had that chilling for a few hours, because if you keep all your ingredients cold, it's nicer. And then it's also, when you go and mix up all your pasta salad in the end, it's good to refrigerate it for a while and let all the ingredients blend. So we'll check on the pasta in just a second. Test taste the pasta. I think it's getting very close. I'm just going to take one of these pieces of pasta, put the water on cold, get as cold as I can, taste test it. Okay, that's perfect. You don't want to overdo it, you don't want to underdo it. So, very quickly, I'm going to put the pasta into my strainer. Okay. Now I'm going to run cold water over it. I'll go run and get the spoon. Just going to kind of try to stir it around a little and start cooling this pasta down. Okay, so it's cooled down significantly, which is good. I'm going to put it in a metal bowl, because I feel like a metal bowl will cool off quicker, because the bowl's already cold. Actually, I'm going to drain it again. I'm hearing way too much water. So I'm going to turn this around so everybody can see. This time I'm going to colander and kind of shake it up a little, try to get the water out. And then I'm going to put it back in this metal bowl. And then I'm going to let this sit. I'm going to cover it. I'm going to let it sit a while so it can really cool down, and then we'll mix everything together. Pasta's been in the fridge for an hour, over an hour, and I got all my goodies. Those have been in the fridge for an hour. My salad dressing has been chilled, and the best type of salad dressing I found to use is the non-creamy Italian. Whatever type of Italian you want to use, this is zesty, robust Italian dressing. And I'm going to start by putting some of the Italian dressing into the pasta because that'll help separate it because it's a little bit stuck. And you always want to use a bigger bowl than you're probably going to serve in, because if you don't, you're not going to have any room to mix. So make sure you shake your salad dressing up really well. Okay, let's see. And we have to kind of a guess and check situation where you're going to add some, stir it around. You don't want too much salad dressing, but you want enough. And I only did 1 box of pasta, so if you were going to do it for a big group, you're going to want to double everything. So I'm going to add more of this. Stir it up and see how once you start adding your salad dressing, then the pasta starts to immediately separate. So that's good. All right. So now I think I'm going to add all my goodies. And it smells luscious. The combination is a very good blend. And then I will stir this up. And like I said, this is a very hearty pasta salad. So it makes a good side dish, but if somebody wanted to have it for lunch, it has enough goodies in it that I think it would fill them up. So, okay, so I'm going to add more salad dressing. Let's see, I'm guessing that might be the right amount. So I've found, though, in the past, sometimes I will add all the salad dressing, and then it sits in the fridge overnight maybe, or even just for several hours, and then I feel like I need to add a little bit more. So I'm just going to leave a little bit more because I have a feeling maybe I don't want to dump it all in here because it might be too much. I'd rather add a little bit later than go ahead and get too much in there. So I'm just going to keep on mixing this up a little bit more, and then I will taste test it. Pretty good amount. So for one package of pasta, not bad. Pretty good amount. So now I'm going to taste test this. Smells really good. Now, in order to taste test it, I got to get a little bit. I'm going to try to get a little bit of everything on my fork, if possible. Very, very good. Flavors are blended very well. Very refreshing during the summer. I don't make pasta salad often, but when I do, I sure do enjoy it. Tastes very good. Hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great evening. Thank you for those of you who subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. And if you don't subscribe and you enjoy the content, please subscribe. It is free. And thank you for watching.